Let's go over the process of Rehydrating Eve, our dehydrated sourdough starter. So on day one, you're going to have your little packet of Eve there and a clean glass jar, at least 16 ounces, so that you have enough room to feed her. And you are going to pour the contents of the entire envelope of Eve into the jar. You don't want to leave any in there. This is enough to make just enough, and you are going to add 3 tablespoons of filtered room temperature or lukewarm water. You don't want to use reverse osmosis or distilled water for this because that water lacks the beneficial bacteria and minerals that your starter needs to come back alive. After letting it rehydrate in the water for an hour, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of unbleached bread flour. You can use whatever brand you like. I really prefer the King Arthur brand. I feel like it's a really great high quality flour, and you can find it pretty much anywhere. And we're going to stir this really well using either a wooden spoon or a rubber spatula. Try to avoid metal on this step. And we are going to place a rubber band around it to track its growth and place the lid loosely on top. Day 2, and we are going to give your new starter its first feed. You can notice that there's some bubbles already starting to form in the jar and some activity happening, which is super awesome. So we are going to feed 2 tablespoons of our unbleached bread flour and 1 tablespoon of room temperature filtered water. And you are going to mix that up and incorporate it really well. If you find that your starter is a little bit too thick and it is not incorporating completely, make sure to add a teaspoon of water, adjust your rubber band, and place your lid on top. Day 3, we are going to repeat the same steps as day 2. You can notice there's a lot more bubbles and activity in the jar, so we are getting close. Add your 2 tablespoons of unbleached bread flour and 1 tablespoon of room temperature filtered water and give it a really solid mix. Make sure that there is no raw clumps of flour left in there. You want to be thorough with this and get it nice and mixed up. And once it's all incorporated, you're going to scrape down the side of your jar, place your lid on top, adjust your rubber band, and wait another 24 hours. Day 4, look at all of those bubbles. So we are going to give a bigger feed today. So we are going to probably see lots of growth after this feed. So this is exciting. You're going to do a 1/2 cup of unbleached bread flour and a 1/4 cup of room temperature filtered water. Mix it very well. You are adding more flour than you did the last couple days to this feeding. So you don't want to leave any pockets of flour. Just take the time to make sure that it's all super incorporated, and then you are going to scrape down the side of your jar again. You are going to adjust your rubber band because I am going to be willing to bet that you are going to see a good amount of growth today, and place your lid on top and let it sit for 24 hours. I had to pop in here and show you this. This was 5 hours after our day 4 feed. So Eve is a very, very happy, magical starter. I cannot wait for you to be able to use her. So day 5, as you can see, we had a lot of rise yesterday. It is normal for your starter to deflate back down. So that's what she did, but you can see that there's still lots of bubbles in there. So we're going to move it to a bigger jar today. Look at all of that. Gorgeous. So pour all of your starter, as much as you can get, into your larger jar that you are going to use indefinitely, and get your bread flour. Today, we're going to do another 1/2 cup of unbleached bread flour and 1/4 cup of room temperature filtered water. Remember, no reverse osmosis or distilled. We're going to keep on that train forever. And then mixy mix. Make sure to get that all incorporated really, really well in its new home. And today is going to be a very exciting day, potentially bread day. Now, just a little side note, if it is a colder time of the year, it is normal for it to maybe take an extra day or 2 to completely get rehydrated and active. So don't worry, keep feeding it the 1/2 cup and 1/4 cup of water if necessary. So this is what we're looking like. Now, after 4 hours, look at all of that rise. This is so exciting. You can officially bake with your new sourdough starter. Look at how fluffy and amazing it looks. So much activity. I am so excited. Make sure to give your new sourdough friend a name, and happy baking.